So for anyone new here, we have DPayne and myself, Hoppocalypse. DPayne is on Mixer and I'm on Twitch, and we're here to discuss anything and everything we feel like in the format such that we pick a specific topic and we dive in picking one that we love, a runner-up that didn't quite make it, and then something in the topic that we did not like, and then a runner-up for being almost the most hated one in this topic.
Yeah. So we listened to everyone's feedback that wanted to, and it was feedback that we ourselves pretty much already agreed to. So we are going to try not to be 2 hours. Which, thinking about it, I don't have a timer set up. I will set a timer on my phone that will play Proto Man's theme song as soon as as soon as we hit an hour.
Nice. But yeah, and I believe we like the idea of also rounding it out with like a quiz and discuss the results of the quiz, and we share that if you're watching us live, we share that with the chat so you guys can participate with us. We have I had trouble finding a decent quiz that kind of encapsulated this whole topic. Last week we had childhood movies, and it was very easy to find which childhood movie you are, and DPayne and I collected quizzes that kind of fit this genre.
Apparently, there's one really good. Is that one that is the PlayStation one on there?
I don't think I removed it, but I don't know that I want to do that one. Did you actually get a good answer from that one?
If we do that one, I don't see it on here. We'll find it again. It's in the Discord chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very true. 45 minutes. I know the time that we're going to try to shoot for is I think it was no longer than an hour and 15 minutes.
Yes.
So
if we do the hour, then that gives us a little closeout period.
Yes. This is all loosey-goosey. I just remembered I have a timer on my computer. Somewhere. There it is. Found it. Oh, thank goodness I'd opened up on the right monitor.
Not suddenly cover up.
Yeah. 1 hour. Click, 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 click. There we go.
Clickies.
Doing it live. There we go. Timer has been started.
Okay, so we've got our timer. And the other big proponent that we've included is DPayne and I are very much nerds in a large array of things, one of them being tabletop RPGs, which involves dice. So you may notice that different weeks we go in different orders covering what we love, what we hate, and it's all based on dice rolls.
Yep. So did we say, yeah, we said we were sharing childhood video games, and we realized that childhood could be a multitude of different things. So we are doing 12, the age of 12 and younger.
And not release date. When
not
we
release
played
date.
it.
when we played it, because I would have a super controversial answer that people on my stream have already heard if we were doing release date. But
yeah, if we did release date, I don't think I would have a list that would apply, because a lot of games that I played came out before I was born. Or I was between the ages of 1 and 4.
Well, you technically were alive.
I was technically. The memories might not actually be there, but
alrighty. Whoop. Come back
there
here.
go the dice.
I don't want to count that roll. Okay, I have my die back. Okay,
right.
So I'm rolling old purple.
Yeah, we've got our initiative rolls with no modifiers because we haven't determined our modifiers yet. I rolled a 2, so I hope you beat me.
I rolled a 2.
Suspicious. All right, we roll our d20s again.
You want me to send you a picture?
I believe you.
I don't know. I saw that face. That wasn't the face of belief.
Hacks. All right, again.
Hey.
19.
18. You go.
So.
And so, yes.
Yours was even.
even. So for other people to know, whoever loses initiative, whether their number is an odd or even, determines whether we share the positive. Even is positive, odd is negative. So since I rolled an 18, which is an even, Hop, you get to share the good things first.
Okay. Are we doing runner up or are we doing number one?
Um, I will leave that up to you. Let's
Okay.
do runner up and then number one. I
Okay.
didn't leave it to you. I immediately
You
took
immediately decided.
it.
Well, guys. All right. So I did not do a lot of notes on this because I can talk about this off the cuff. My runner up is the Game Boy edition of Tetris. I have put so many hours into that, I can't even describe. For me, it was my go-to game that I would go to. I found it very calming because there was like, the only direction was to be the best Tetris player you could be. So if I ever got stuck on I remember getting stuck on a lot of games that I had growing up, anything with like really hard puzzles. As a kid, everything's a hard puzzle. Or like getting annoyed that my Pokemon weren't beating the Elite Four in Pokemon Yellow. I would always go back to Tetris. And I had this weird obsession in Tetris where I always loved the idea of starting from level 0 and seeing how high of a level you could go. So for anyone who's not familiar with I don't know if the modern Tetrises also have that level, but basically you start at level 0 and it's very slow and you can take your time. And then the more line completions you get, I think it's every I don't remember the increment of numbers, but after so many, it increases the speed of which the blocks start dropping, and then the music increases with it. And my goal was always to go from 0 to 99. I don't remember if I ever got to that point, but I do remember playing Tetris so often that I used to start the game at level 99 and just sit there and play, which is pretty disgusting because by the time you blink, you have 6 bars on your board. But I think I played a lot of different variations of Tetris growing up. And I think this one was my favorite just because it was very solo. I'd say a close runner up for me that I would say is my second favorite. There was a version on SNES. It might be Tetris 2 that came in the package with Dr. Mario. And I remember liking that one because it had a split screen versus mode where if you were better at Tetris, you could make the other person suffer by dropping more rows and blocks on them.
So wait, they had so much extra content for Tetris, they made a second one?
I
Did they add a new block?
I think I don't know what was different other than probably different graphics. I don't know. I don't remember how many colors SNES had because I know the Game Boy was various shades of green.
Yes, green and black.
And then but Tetris 2, I think the big thing for that was being able to have the split screen competitive play.
Okay, so it was a new game mode that was added.
Yeah. So if you've ever seen games, I think the more modern ones that are out are there's a Street Fighter Puzzle Fighter, which I also loved, but I think I was older when I played that one. That it's that same vibe.
Mm-hmm. And when I just looked it up, apparently to get to a higher level in Tetris, it was an increasing amount of lines you had to clear out.
Yeah, I think it was exponential. 0 to 1 was probably 10, and then
it would have been great if you had to get 0 lines done to pass 0 level.
Level immediately 0. Level 1.
It's
And I had someone at work one time, they were humming a tune and they tried to tell me it was from a game. I was like, you're singing a Tetris song. He was like, no, I'm not. I was like, that's a Tetris song. Do not play with me because I played so much Tetris. And he looked it up. He was like, oh, it is a Tetris song. But then it was sampled for something else. And I was like, Tetris song.
Well, as you were speaking, I had the
yes
playing in my head. I'm like, and it's I was about to take off my headphones because I'm like, is something playing on my?
Or is this just in my head? Yeah, and then I think the only other song that I used to play was the Arabian Nights one. I think it was called.
It sounds familiar, if I don't know it as well as whatever the name of the other one is. So. That's gonna be stuck in my head for the rest of the day. Let's go back to handlebars. Let's have handlebars stuck in my
handlebars stuck in your head instead.
What would be the next upgrade to? I guess they already have Battle Royale Tetris.
I need to download that because I made a joke when that released. I was like, your guys are lucky I don't have a Switch, or I'd finally be number 1 at a BR.
I tried. I think the highest I got was 12. I don't remember.
I
It
actually,
was pretty high.
yeah, I haven't tried it. I'll have to look into it.
It's free.
It is free. Oh, okay. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Move over, Animal Crossing. It's time for Tetris. um, yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, like Tetris did pass a lot of time growing up. Like, so when I had my first cell phone, Tetris was free to download. And so when I didn't want to be at work, I would go into the bathroom and play video games on my phone.
You do what you gotta do, man.
on
On
my
cell phones, for me, it wasn't Tetris. It was Snake.
uh well, like my first cell phone wasn't until the LG Envy, I believe
Okay.
it was,
Okay.
which it was cool because it looked like a regular cell phone, and then you flipped it up, and then it had a keyboard, and on that keyboard is where I beat Mega Man one, not one, Mega Man 2 and 3 on the phone.
That's beautiful. No, when I played Snake, it was not my own cell phone. I should be clear. It was my dad's cell phone. I didn't
Uh,
understand the point of it. I just knew Snake existed.
Now I'm imagining the Snake, but with Metal Gear Solid, like just walking around.
Does he
Snake.
get taller though as he collects things? Because that's
No,
kind of uncomfortable.
it's still no, it's still the same like line Snake going through, but it's
Uh-huh.
just like every time he eats a bit and gets longer, it's him just saying uh, like whatever famous Metal Gear Solid lines there are from Snake. Like, oh, I played all of them and now I can't remember a famous line. I'm Snake. Look at me go. Yeah, Meryl.
I haven't played one.
Just one or any of them?
Any of them.
It's all good. Three is my favorite because it has that like James. Like I'm not a big fan of James Bond, but it has like the song, like the James Bond esque song in there, and it's
Mm.
just like I really like that song. Ooh, I'm gonna add video game themes to the list.
Oh, that is a good topic.
Um,
Okay. But yeah, so that's my runner up. So I guess you get to go with your runner up.
as soon as I write this, welcome
Yes.
everyone,
Yes, don't mind us. This is episode 2, but we're still learning.
and we probably will still do this into episode whatever.
It's part of our charm, I think.
There it is. I lost the rare drop page. Yeah, it's all in a dream, Snake Eater. What I hit? Keyboard. Okay.
You lost your whole
So-
keyboard.
No, I hit a button on my keyboard. I'm like, what did it do? So, for my first good one, like when I look back, these two games, like when I first thought of these were like growing up, like my first console was the PS1. And so I didn't have like any other games beside, like I didn't grow up playing the Nintendo or anything like that. So all my games, I think all my games, yes, are PS1 based. Um, and what we did on there is like we only played what our parents got us. So my first game, like these are like point one, like 1A and 1B. Like I just remember these games very fondly. And the first one is the Spider-Man game on the PS1. It was, I don't know what, like as soon as you started it, it played like the old school like Spider-Man, Spider-Man, no 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 no, and it was just a very fun thing. And then it just moved and worked really well, where you could have your Spider-Man down on the ground and just going through, and you just had your levels. I remember getting to the final level, and I don't care if I spoil this because it was like came out in the 90s or whatever. That and this is when someone's going to tell me, actually, it came out here. I'm like, oh, it doesn't fit anymore. But anyway, Spider-Man, like it was it was just a real fun time because like growing up I really liked superheroes. I still really like superheroes. Maybe not as much as I used to when I was younger, but like when I was younger, I wanted to be a superhero, and it's just reading a lot of the comics and stuff. And like when the movies came out, it was like the coolest thing ever. But before then, when people were not fans of superheroes, like Spider-Man was just this, I don't know, it was just a really fun thing to be Spider-Man, like actually web sling from building to building, run away from helicopters shooting you, and then like go inside, crawl up walls, and like it it's like one of those things, like still to this day I want to go find a copy of it and play it. It was just really, I remember putting so many hours in there, because like back in the day, it's not like, okay, I finished it, I guess I'll go on multiplayer. It's like, no, you now unlock the millions of costumes that are in there, and like the costumes each had like their own thing. So there's like costumes that like made you invisible or gave you less resources, so you had to play better, or made you like die in one hit. And so instead of like upping the difficulty and all that, it's just like different costumes and stuff that you had to collect made the game like more difficult or easier depending on how bad or good you were. And so I don't know, it was that was my 1B.
So. That was a lot of love for a 1B.
Yes. Yeah.
It sounded like a hard choice for you between that and 1A.
Yeah. Because I had a harder time thinking of what the worst ones were.
I also struggled with that.
So.
Yes. But no, I don't think I ever played that. Like, PlayStation 1 was probably one of the consoles I played the most as a kid. Like, other than, like, my game, like, I guess, do you consider a handheld console in the same like category as a PlayStation console? I don't know.
Yeah, because there are still games that came out, like,
that's true. And it's just not on the computer. Like that. Yeah, like I think PlayStation 1 and Game Boy I think competed during my early childhood, like when I was younger than 12. So I also feel that. But yeah, I don't think I ever played Spider-Man.
It's like how people look at this new Spider-Man game that came out, like for the PS4, is how like their reactions and memories, and or like how they're reacting. They're just like, oh, wow, you can actually be Spider-Man. Was my reaction to playing this Spider-Man game.
That's fair.
And I look for it. I'm gonna look up right now how much that Spider-Man game costs.
What I think is fascinating when we look back at these older games, especially for like remakes and things like that, since that is becoming like a big part of the market right now. Strider mentioned, he was like, it's weird to know that when we played these games, there were very few pixels available. Yet in the remake, they've been able to reimagine it in 3D, and it feels almost exactly the same. Kind of like either our imagination filled in what the pixels couldn't, and now they've just brought it to life in 3D, or if this was just like, this is just how it looked to us.
Yeah. Sounds like someone's been playing Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Strider played that. Strider finished his first playthrough of that. I started playing... that's how I also felt going to Animal Crossing, though, because I originally played it on GameCube. I didn't play the in-between on the DS.
I can't find it, and I don't feel like looking at it anymore. But, yeah, I'm trying to think of what game filled those gaps the best, because a lot of the games that I enjoy to play never were translated over. I'm trying to think of what game, if there was any games that I could think off the top of my head that were remade. There's probably some, and I'm just forgetting. They remake Parasite Eve. That would be a game I played. Well, I didn't play when it first came out. I played it on the PSP or the Vita.
The port, not the remake. Yeah.
Yes, but that's the thing. Like, where there's also like a lot of PS1 games that I think I played. Because when did the PS2 come out?
I looked it up. 2000.
Now I have to think of my age.
Backwards math.
Well, the other thing is I didn't get the PS2 when it first came out because like my parents wouldn't buy it for me. So I remember this very clearly, that I wanted to get the PS2, and my brothers were all like, "Yeah, let's get the PS2." And then we were like $20 away from getting the PS2, which when you were that age, $20 was like $1,000,000.
Yes.
And like we had summer jobs and all that, so like I remember saving up for it, and my brothers, the day of, like not the day of, but it was just like $20 away. They're like, we want to get the GameCube, and I'm like, okay, well, and so like, well, then I sat there, and like I'm the oldest out of all my brothers, so I'm just like, okay, well, let's get the GameCube, and like after we do that, then let's save up and get the PS2. And they're like, yeah. We sold it, got the GameCube. None of those suckers went and saved for the PS2.
Oh no.
So I worked all summer and got the PS2, and I didn't let any of them play it.
This is mine. Yeah, no, I was the kid that ended up picking the GameCube over the PS2. Because I
Nothing wrong
was,
with it.
yeah, because I was really into Pokemon at the time. And I remember the first game I got was Pokemon Coliseum.
Yeah, it was. I remember the game that I really enjoyed on the GameCube was Resident Evil 4.
That's
And
fair, yeah.
the game, this is going into a whole different subject of podcast topic, but I remember playing Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube, and like me and my brothers, we were having fun and all this stuff. I don't think my parents really understood what it was. I don't know why. Like looking back at it, like they were super strict. And then for some reason they let us get Resident Evil 4, and we were playing Resident Evil 4, and there's a part where like I just remember I shot a zombie, its head exploded, and it was just like blood and gore everywhere. And then all of a sudden we hear this elderly voice behind us saying like, "Oh, that's cute." And we found out that my grandmother that lived in the in-law suite snuck over and was just looking for my mom and just watched us blow a zombie's head off. But she didn't understand what was going on. And she was like, "Oh, that's cute. Where's your mom?"
At least the graphics of that time period, it's easier to just be like, that's some weird looking confetti on your screen.
I remember that time. It wasn't as it was today, but it was still pretty good.
Yeah, I think if your eyesight wasn't trained to understand the game.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah. So how about you? What is your top game?
Okay, my number one childhood game that, in hindsight, while writing this all from memory, which surprised me entirely, I didn't even have to go back and look up mechanics for it, actually is a big inspiration for a lot of the games I play. It was kind of like my first big introduction into simulation, management, and turn-based. It's called Monster Rancher 2.
Oh, I heard of that. Never played it.
I loved it. So basically what you get to do is you have a farm. And you have monsters, hence the name Monster Rancher. But the big cool thing that always drew me in is you can obtain monsters from putting in discs into your PlayStation 1. It didn't matter what discs. You could put in a music CD, you could put in other games, things like that, and you would randomly get generated a monster. But here's the catch. Since you're a rancher, you also have it's got like that whole Pokemon system where like if you're not a good enough trainer with enough badges, you can't actually tame these monsters. But in here, instead what they had, instead of just like badges, you had rankings. So like, you know, the whole like D, is it D? Or it might be lower than D. It might be E to like S+. So then basically you get monsters of all these different types. And then you train them and you gain skills with them, and you have to be able to balance their diet, their training, bonding with them, and then taking them into battles. And it was actually like fairly complex, at least from what I remember as a kid, because certain monsters were like vegetarian, and if you give them the wrong thing, they get sick and you have to get medicine. If you overtrain them, they could get exhausted, or they could get injured, or if they fail too often, then they get like depressed, and you have to like rebuild that bond with them. And then if your bond is strong enough, you could go and take them into training that might be above their level, or they like super succeed and get like double the attribute points than you're supposed to give them. And yes, the logo for the game is a giant one-eyed yellow monster. all the monsters I think are so endearing and so cute. There's like a rabbit with like boxing gloves. There's like a wolf that's like a dog. There's like this big lazy orangutan, and one of the versions I really like, it's like got a rainforest outfit to it, and it like just slaps people in battles. But they picked their mascot to be a big yellow one-eyed monster that licks people, that jumps on a weird pogo stick leg.
It's an upside down beholder.
It really is. But yeah, and then the thing that the combat, so like I did kind of like say it's got Pokemon like aspects, but the combat is a little bit more involved, where it kind of has that turn-based feel without just being like selecting options, because if I remember correctly, you had to like balance ability points, and you had to also balance your range from the other monster you're within. And then there was also like quick time events where you had to mash buttons if your like character was stunned or things like that, where they had different abilities within, like if you were like face to face, then you had one ability, but if you pushed, then sometimes you had ranged abilities. And then there were also strengths and weaknesses within that and what you were fighting. But I remember because of the rankings, there was one monster that always eluded me, which was a monster you could obtain from putting perfect weapon as the disc, to which I've heard horror stories from Strider about Perfect Weapon, and he's the one that owned it, and I never played it. But this was from when I like tried to go back and replay the game in college. So he was like an A to S rank monster, and it would always just show you like the outline and be like, oh, you're not ready for this yet. This will be overwhelming for you. You need to practice as a trainer. And what ended up happening is the copy that I had from my childhood constantly froze at the higher ranking match. So I would get all the way up to like B rank or B plus rank, and I'd be loading into the match, and it would just sit there and it wouldn't skip. It would just replay a loop showing me the Coliseum saying, you're next up for battle. Because technically, because it was like knockout rounds kind of thing, where it was like, you know, you have like 9 people come in, and whoever has the best win-loss ratio wins the overall tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could auto battle it, or you could manually handle it. But I think I always went in and like manually did it. But I remember one of the big things too that I really liked doing as a kid, because I very much like animals and things like that. You used to be able to take them on like vacations and things to like bond with them a lot. And it was just these really cute like little mini games or mini cutscenes of them just being happy. And I was like, oh, I've got a heart. Maybe this might have also been the start of my dating sim obsession. So this one game alone encapsulates, because it covers like, I love the XCOM series where it's that whole like management aspect. I love like Civ and all those those kind of games, and then Stardew and dating sims.
It's just like my shame.
it all adds up now.
Hearing all the stuff you have to do to take care of the monsters in there, I will never complain when I have to go pull lint out of a Pokemon's head or whatever they do now. I hated that, and now I'm like, there's no way. It actually reminds me a lot. There was this, I think it was called a scanners.
Yes.
And it was like this little handheld thing that you went and scanned
barcodes.
And you could get items and monsters out of it. My brother had it, and it was like the coolest thing. I was like, we should just walk around the grocery store,
just collect everything.
everything. Power level.
Yeah, I never got that, but yeah, it does have that same kind of vibe, because I remember looking back on it, I have no idea what my parents' music taste was, or if they just collected music from like friends. But there was one monster that I was always consistently unlock when I hit a certain rank, and it was like a Quincy Jones like jazz album, and it gave me. It's hard to describe without an image, but there's one monster that is literally a wall with a sun mask face on it. But it was very strong because it had a lot of HP. So it was very hard to kill it in a battle to knock it out.
That's what jazz is, a wall with a face. Listen to me.
Yeah, like, I don't know. It was just, as soon as I brought this topic up to Strider, he was like, what's your favorite game? I said Monster Rancher. He was like, yeah, it is. I was like, thanks. Thanks. Because he said that he played it a bit as a kid, but then I brought it back up like in college days to like try and dive back into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was My memory of that game is like I remember playing no, I remember Saturday morning cartoons and where when we were playing watching the Saturday morning cartoons, I remember having like the Pokemon, Digimon, and then it was like, and here's Monster Rancher, and it's just like I fell into a PS1, woo! And I'm like, what is this show?
The show was, yeah, I remember trying to watch the show and I quickly gave up. And I also was very sad because I remember, I think my brother got like a PS3 and I saw that there was a version of Monster Rancher. I think they called it 4 or 5 that came out for PS3. I could be, it could have a different name, but they took away all the good stuff. They cartooned it up to the point where I was like, this isn't even, there's no depth anymore. It's just, oh, there is another monster that I think was pretty popular, but it was like a pink jelly bean with a shell on it. So it was like a weird turtle thing, but like that became like the mascot, I think, in the later games. But yeah, so like I remember playing the newer iterations of it and it was just like they took away all the stuff that I remembered liking about it. And apparently what I like is boring, I think, to a lot of people.
I looked it up. The yellow eyeball thing's name is Suzo.
Yeah, I think that's
Suezo.
Yeah, I think that's the default name when you like get the monsters. You can name them whatever you want when you first obtain them. Oh, and
go ahead.
And I was gonna say the concept that I really loved from it. It's probably extremely cheesy looking back on it, but when you put a disc into the PlayStation, they had a whole animation that it was like an ancient tablet that you're reading hieroglyphics from, and then it like their special machine brought it to life from this information. It was like a whole like cheesy like slowly spinning and slowly becoming 3D monster coming out of a tablet.
Oh man, I think I'm just gonna look up the animation for that. Also, what is with like Japan making like what traumatized Japan where anything that is named Joker looks like the Grim Reaper with a clown mask?
Wait, hold on. So there's a Joker monster type in Monster Rancher?
Hold
Is
up.
that what you're saying?
I'll put it in the Discord.
Oh, I never got one of these. But yes, I see what you mean.
And then like as it transforms here, I'll put it in the chats too. As soon as I find it. There it is. And then like the more and more it goes, it looks less than like the Joker and more like a Freddy Krueger, not Freddy Krueger, Jason with a scythe and no legs.
It's just slowly floating. So, okay, so this is the creature. It's called a mochi, I believe.
They're delicious.
I do like actual mochi, but as far as this creature, I don't know that it looks very much like mochi.
I found something called blue fur.
Yeah.
It's a transparent blue rabbit.
Yes, so they had there's a jelly monster that was super annoying to fight, and it's like this blue blob that's kind of humanoid and has a red beating heart, and like I forget if you could crossbreed or if they were just variations of them where you kind of combined them. So like you had the different rarities of essentially that blue transparent rabbit is like a jelly rabbit.
Yeah, it's only in 1 and 2 apparently. And in 1 it's called a blue fur, in 2 it's called a jelly hair. And
hey!
And the way its description is for Monster Rancher 2 is its body is firmly constructed except its flabby belly.
I love it.
Sounds like some people I know.
But yeah, so if you look at what I sent in the chats, that is a mochi, and that became like a
I remember this thing.
Yeah, it became one of like the main mascot characters.
It's a gumball and a platypus combined.
Yeah, but if I remember right, it was actually pretty good at fighting. But no, the jellies were really good at fighting, I remember, because they had like a weird whip ability, which I wouldn't expect Jello to be able to like whip things.
Yeah. Well, there's that one game that I'm totally blanking on, Nightmare Before Christmas, where you get the snot soul and it's like a little jelly that whip things with.
Mm.
It's not called the snot soul. It's just what it looked like. I think it's like the rubber soul or something, and it's just like this, like green. It looks like snot.
It's okay. Now I'm just scrolling through of the Monster Rancher Wikipedia, and I'm looking at the various combination of creatures, and it's bringing back so many memories. So okay, so like there's usually a pixie character in a lot of fantasy games, and usually they're not dressed in much. There's apparently, I never have seen it before, but apparently there's like a pixie and you mix it with a dragon. So it looks like the dragon's wearing a bikini. And I'm just. And then there's one where apparently it's like, I think it's a pixie mixed with a golem. So he's like, he just looks like he has like furry shoulders. It's just pink, but a giant rock golem. Oh man,
no shame.
I should emulate this again. I will play this so much. But yes, I think I remember only watching 1 or 2 episodes of the anime and like not really getting very far. Also, another thing to keep in mind is the one-eyed monsters also come in their favorite variations. One of them being the rabbit, like you saw, and then
that one has hair.
the pink one I believe is the mix with the pixie, so it needs some lipstick. The one I think is a shark.
Yeah.
The other one's a bug, and then the other one is the wolf, because the wolf, for some reason in this iteration of the universe, wolves have like 1 horn.
As to in real life when they have like at least 3.
Yes, you can't mix it up like that. But oh man, memory lane.
But yeah, Soft Taco, to answer your question, Monster Rancher is Hop's favorite childhood video
2 in specific.
Oh, 2.
One I don't think I remember as much, but 2 I remember is the one that I played and poured a lot of my time and soul into. Also, one of the articles that I saw looking up images of these gave out a title that said Monster Rancher was not a Pokemon ripoff, and it hurts my soul to think that people believe that with how much depth this has compared to the old Pokemon games. I loved Pokemon Yellow, specifically Yellow, because I was the nerd that wanted things to be canon. And that was the only Pokemon game that was canon to the TV show.
Oh, I was about to say, like, well, I read the comic, and the games actually line up more with the comic. Like red and blue, and was there ever a green?
Green is the next iteration, but I think that was like emerald or
like my favorite thing. Like no one can make fun or feel bad about naming their main characters, because it's like, hey, everyone thinks Ash is the cool Pokemon trainer, but guess what? No, it's Red. That's his name, Red. And guess what? Gary? No, his actual name is Blue. Like in the comic.
So are you saying Red is the canon one then? Because
Red is canon.
Because Blue gives you the opposite name set.
Yes, I think Red is canon. Like
and then,
to the comic.
And then Yellow's canon to the TV show.
But there's also a character, which is, I believe, a girl named Yellow. And her whole storyline is Red's Pikachu. Like, Red gets, like, everyone thinks Red dies, and he's just gone.
What?
But then they find Red's Pikachu, which is, like, Ash's Pikachu.
Uh-huh.
And, like, Yellow finds Pikachu and just, like, brings it to Professor Oak, and Oak's like, hey, oh, this belongs to Red. Where the dump is he? And, like, they go through, and, like, Yellow has this ability to, like, speak to Pokemon or something like that.
What?
And so they find out that Red went and found like Articuno, I think it is. Is that the ice?
Yeah, that's
legendary?
the ice bird, yeah.
And went to try to capture it. And then like Articuno pretty much was about to wipe him out. And so Pikachu's last memory of Ash is him getting thrown behind as Red steps in front of like the ice blast from Articuno and gets frozen. And so like they're like, well, let's go get a fire Pokemon and go save Red. And then like
this sounds
they go
so
up
much
there.
better than the anime.
And then they get up there and like they find the actual battle scene, but like and then at the same time they find Green has Bulbasaur and goes and trains with Bulbasaur and all that. They find Blue and they're like, we got to go find Red, and they go up to Red where this battle scene is. They just find the frozen like cocoon, but the back is ripped out, and they're like, where the heck is Red?
Plot twists. Yeah, like I do remember loving the anime, but this sounds so much darker and so much more entertaining.
Yeah, but like Mew's in there, and I can't remember if Mewtwo is in there, but Mew is like a lot more of like the prevalent like Pokemon, and it's like I think at that like, hey, I'm spoiling something I think was like made in like late '80s, so whoopsie.
Yeah, I was gonna say the games and the show released like the year I was born, so.
So but it's like Red does team up with Mew, I believe, and it's like that's how he's able to break free and just like all this other stuff. But yeah, it's cool.
That's fun.
And I looked at the time. So
your favorite.
My favorite game. My favorite game is a game called Toomba. Toomba is so imagine like a feral child with pink hair and is going around and attacking pigs. But these pigs are like evil. So it's a 2D platforming game collectathon where you are this pink-haired feral child that
Okay.
Yes, it is.
I did not play this, but I remember seeing it in the stores and I never picked it up.
Yes. I like when I was thinking about it, and like still to this day, like when I look at games that I buy, like very much how you were saying Monster Rancher, it was like, man, a lot of things line up. To now, I'm like Toomba, or if we have any people from the UK, Toombai. I don't know why the translations difference are, but I love side-scrolling action platformers, or just generally 2D platformers. If an indie game comes out with that, I love it. And the whole so like it's really neat because when you start off, you have like a morning star as your weapon, which is like, and you just go, not a morning, can't remember, but I think they call it like the blackjack or something like that. And it's just like this ball on a chain, and you just like none of your weapons, to my knowledge, kill people. It just knocks them out, and what you have to do then is jump on them, and then you jump again and you throw them at either objects or other people to get rid of them. However, like throughout the course of the game, like there's different things you have to do that is all like, hey, jumping on people. So like you go to this one place that is a dwarf village, and you go in there and you can't understand the language, and you're like, what the heck? And so a mission prompts up, is like, learn the language. It's like, okay. So then you go out and there's like all these dwarves that are stuck in like this fungus that is like all throughout, and so you have to break them free, and the way you break them free is jumping on them. Well, when you jump on them, Toomba bites them, and after you bite like I think it's like 10 people, you learn the language.
If only it was that easy to learn a language in real life.
Yeah, biting would be a lot more socially acceptable than it should be. Actually, that's how Starfire from the DC universe learns languages. She just needs to make physical contact, and when she's first introduced, she just starts making out with Robin, and everyone's like, what the heck?
I thought they were just dating.
That happens too, but like literally how she is introduced to the whole DC universe is that this like woman comes from space, sees Robin, and just starts making out with them, and everyone like from the Teen Titans are like, what is going on? And like Ron's like, oh no, but I like it.
But okay.
But yeah, so Toomba, it's and the bosses are really interesting because like what you have to do is like, it's not like your normal PS1 game where it's like, okay, do enough damage and it goes to the third stage. What you have to do is memorize the pattern and then jump on the pig and throw it into this magical bag that you have. But the thing is, like, because what happens is that there's like 7 evil like pig wizards that are out there. Yeah, a very high fantasy concept. And what you do is what happened is that they steal like your grandpa's bracelet because they were going around stealing all the gold, and like this, for some reason you have your grandpa's bracelet which they steal, and you that's the whole mission is like go get your bracelet back. And while doing that, you go and face him, but you can't even face the boss until you find one of the bags. And then once you find the bag, you have to find in the world where they are. So like just because you find the bag doesn't mean you get the boss fight. You have to like once you do the mission tree to find the bag, then you have to find where in the world they're hiding, which it's in the same spot. Like so like the blue one is always going to be what the blue one is, the red one is always going to be what the red one is, but then you have to go in there and then fight the boss. And it's like one of those things where the world is very much, you can explore the whole world. Now there's certain skills that you need to get. Like when you first start, you can't swim, so for you to swim, like you jump into the water and you jump out, take damage, and then you get a prompt like, wow, how do you swim, or something like that. Or it's just like literally all the mission prompts are questions, and it's just like, okay, it's just like whatever it is, like can't drown here. And so now you have to go find the person that has the like the flippers or to allow you to swim. And then there's just like, and so that's some missions. There's other missions where you'll just kind of walk into this room and there's this red crystal, and you're like, a prompt will just pop up. It's like, hey, how do you get this? And then it's like one of the things, like once you look at your HUD and all this stuff, you find out certain enemies give you certain like points, like red, green, or blue points, depending on what kind of enemy you kill. And so what you have to do is fill up that meter, like the red meter, to go get the red crystal. But it doesn't tell you how to do that or anything. It's just stuff it's trial and error and just learn what you're doing. And so that Tumba is, like, I played it when I was younger, and I'll admit it was one of those games I didn't understand too much, but I had a lot of fun. Like, I'm a pink-haired monkey man jumping around. And then I played it later, and it's one of these games I want to stream. I want to stream it at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But it was great. So yeah.
Yeah. The pattern recognition, is it like the same kind of patterns, like like in the way that like Dark Souls tries to make you recognize patterns, or is it like more just like a Simon Says kind of pattern? Or I guess even Cuphead has patterns in it too.
Yeah, it's not like a Simon Says. It's, I guess like Dark Souls would kind of be a thing, because like it's kind of like each, like at most they might have like 3 or 4 attacks, and each attack has a tell. So you have to make sure it's just like, okay, this tell is going to do this, so I need to make sure I'm either, if I'm not confident in dodging this move, okay, I need to move, like just try to dodge or go somewhere where I know I won't get hit or have a higher like probability chance of missing or dodging the attack. And then it's just, there's other things where you just have to make sure, like, okay, I know they spawn in this spot, so it's just like I need to make sure that I'm like falling from the air, because like the only way you can grab people is when you jump down on them. So
Okay.
like you can't like hit them from the side. So like, okay, I know the boss is going to land or appear in this spot, so when it like teleports away, I'm going to drop down. Hopefully I will get lucky and land on its head. Because like you don't have, the whole thing is like you don't need to weaken it.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to throw it into the bag.
Okay. So yeah, you did say that it doesn't have like the phase progression that you used to see a lot in the older games. It's
like just get the pig in the bag. and so like once you get in there, like the bag floats around or does different things. So there's one where it just sits in the middle and spins. And so like you have to like land on the pig and just try to throw it in there. And so, but yeah. Yeah. So we talked a lot about our favorites.
We did. How's our clock looking?
We have 12 minutes.
Oh no, we might not end this one with a quiz then, because like I wasn't. Did you like any of the quizzes?
I don't know. Maybe we'll do one. I'll admit, I don't have a lot to say about my bad ones.
Okay, I'll make this quick then. Okay.
No, you do you. It's all good. We did say this was just the hour mark. We did say we were going to shoot for an hour and 15. So technically, we have another 30 minutes.
Technically, but then to fit a quiz in.
We'll see.
All right. So then what I have, so I'll do my runner up. My runner up for my least favorite game was one of the Rugrats games called Search for Reptar.
I know what you're talking about.
I don't I don't have good memory of this game. I just remember getting very frustrated at it, and that it was like very like Nightmare Fuel-esque. And it was to the point where like I couldn't remember stuff well enough, so I googled it just to like remind myself, like, is this really a game or was this a fever dream? There's a subreddit of people talking about every level that gave them nightmares as children. And they like cite with it, like they have like descriptions like, there was a mummy on this level. I was like, I never made it to that level, but I'm glad I didn't. As a kid, I'd probably be scarred. But yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, it's like a weird 3D version of Rugrats where Tommy Pickles needs to find Reptar puzzle pieces through the house. I think it was on PC and PlayStation 1. And it was just like, it just, ugh.
I remember this game. I never played it growing up, but I remember it because when I watched the Game Grumps play it, and I know the mummy part you're talking about. And there's like a whole, like, you're not supposed to, but it's like in a golf course. And I remember the golf course episode, like how they go and explore.
Yeah, like they're supposed to be, the levels I think are episodic, like in their inspirations.
Yeah, I just remember the Game Grumps found the mummy, and then they're like, "Do you think we can take it outside?" And then I don't remember if this is John Tron or Danny Sexbang at this part, but they're just like, "Yeah, man, let's try it." And they get the mummy outside, and then just explodes.
That's beautiful. Yeah, like there was a certain point in the puzzles that I got stuck. I remember getting very scared about a goose in it. It wasn't for me. It could have just been like, I think I'm still bad at puzzles, and I could have just gotten frustrated with puzzles back then, and it has since then carried over into my life where puzzles and me just don't get along.
So when are we expecting the Myst playthrough?
I don't know what that is.
It's like all puzzle.
The only thing I've streamed that has puzzles was Amnesia, and I got stuck at a point, and I might have looked up a YouTube video off stream just to like finish the game. There was one puzzle in particular in Amnesia that I got stuck on. There were other Rugrats games that I loved, like Rugrats in Paris. I remember loving. There was another one on PC where they didn't do the 3D models. It was like little 2D cartoon clips where it was more just like the puzzle solving of like, you have the wrench, get out of the playpen, and like that kind of like piecing stuff together. But I don't know, the 3D one, it did not sit right with me.
Well, you know what? This actually goes really well with my runner-up.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm probably gonna get hate for this because I know this game is a PlayStation classic. It is called Abe's Odyssey.
I didn't play this, but I think I can recall it. Does it have like the guy with a funny head?
Yeah, and it's just like, so what you do is you get like this little dude that comes in there, and like he has like he can do like 4 things depending on what button you hit, which was like meditate, wave, jump, and fart. I think that was what they could. I don't remember, but like the whole point of the game, like, it's one of these games where I think I was just legitimately too young and too dumb to play. Like, part of me thinks I would maybe enjoy this game now with save states. Because like if you died, you had to start, I think, the whole level, if not the whole game over again if you didn't hit like a certain checkpoint.
That's brutal for kids.
And the thing is, like, I just remember it was like really weird. And I just remember like the thing that made Abe special, because like the whole world is like, I don't even know. I think I was at a friend's house when I played it, but the whole concept of this world is that the creature that you are like forced into like to be like slaves. And the reason why Abe sticks out is that he has this ability to mind control things. And so he's able to meditate, and that's like how he's able to break like other people of his race free by like mind controlling different people. And like, so when you mind control people, remember you can't move, and you can move other things around, but if you're not paying attention, like when you mind control something, like somebody else, like somebody that else is in the level that's on like the same platform as you can come and just shoot you. And it's like,
You have to manage a lot.
yes. And it's like, I just remember young DPayne not being able to do that at all. So it was one of these games I'm like, I'm good. Y'all have fun with this. And yeah, it's like, I know there is like a cult following for it, and it won a whole bunch of awards, but it was like, I'll admit I wasn't at the right brain capacity to play that game. And it has a stigma in my head where I don't really want to try to play it. So yeah. So what was your most hated game?
Okay, mine, like, I couldn't think of a game that was outwardly bad. I think I have the same thing with you, where like you hit a point where like as a kid you just have these tarnished memories because you couldn't like understand or grasp how to finish the game. Mine is a Game Boy game called Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle 2. It is, saying it out loud, it's actually a very straightforward game where all you have to do is collect keys to doors to save Bugs Bunny's girlfriend, who I think the wiki said is Honey Bunny in this timeline. But it was yeah, like I could not finish one of the levels, and I ended up looking up the guide, and it really hurt the self-esteem because one, it was a very nice, like, reminiscent kind of guide. It was a games FAQ guide, and if you were into gaming, you knew what these guides look like because they all have the consoles font with a gray background and lots of dash lines to separate out the sections. But the first 11 levels, they say there is no hint needed. It's straightforward. And I was like, oh God, I hope I didn't get stuck on these levels. Because like without a description, like I couldn't remember which ones. But like to collect the keys, they were apparently like weapons and things like that. So then they like I remember using the bow and arrow, I remember using the bomb, but like there was a certain puzzle that I got stuck on, and the guide said like level 12 looks harder than it actually is. You know what? As a kid, it was probably impossible for me. It probably was just a game that I could not beat because like I'm reading the guide, he was like, you need to go like down this pipe and up this ladder, then down this pipe, then throw the bomb at this to distract this guy to climb out and get the 8th key and get out. And I was like, oh, also, it takes 8 keys to open each door. Imagine carrying a ring of 8 keys for your front door and another ring of 8 keys for your back door. And this goes through, I think the guide said there's 28 levels of unlocking doors, and then a level you fight the witch that has stolen Bugs Bunny's girlfriend. Didn't know you had to, I didn't know you could fight her. I just remember the intro of her stealing the girlfriend. But yeah, like I just remember not being able to finish this game at all. And like I think as a kid I wanted to play it because there was another Looney Tunes game that I really liked, and I was like, oh, this is like cheap at the store, I'll grab another Looney Tunes game. And it has a lot of the classic characters in it, except they're all trying to kill Bugs Bunny.
As one should.
As one should. Yeah, like it was a very straightforward game, but I just could not beat it. And is it the first game I rage quit? Possibly. Probably not. But it's probably one of the ones I remember the most of like, I would play this and then go back to Tetris.
It was your decompressing of Tetris.
Yes, I needed it. But yeah, I probably have it in a case somewhere in this house. Because I used to
it,
like hang on to all my games. I still have a Game Boy Advance that holds no battery charge and needs to stay plugged in that I play these games on.
it reminded me, like as soon as you said Bugs Bunny, my brain remembered actually a really fun PlayStation 1 Bugs Bunny game called Lost in Time.
Mm-hmm.
And oh man, that game was a lot of fun. Not what we're talking about, but it was a lot of fun. There's like, it's all the Bugs Bunny goofs in a video game throughout time.
Ooh, that does sound fun.
So like there, and then as you like progress, you go and like unlock different abilities. So you have to like go back to like if you want 100% it.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a lot of cool things about it. But yeah, collecting 8 million keys to unlock a door does not sound fun. It sounds like Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah,
But
like this one was like
worse.
very much like a side scroller in the style of like the older Mario, like the arcade cabinet Mario, where it's very much like climb ladder, hit villain, climb down ladder, climb other ladder. Like it was a very straightforward concept. I just could not. I could not.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, I remember Kicker in chat was saying that the first game was NES, and then that's like, oh, okay, now I know what this is on.
Yeah, the one that the Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle 2 that I played was on Game Boy.
Okay. Interesting. All right. So I don't want to cut you off. Is there
I
any more hate
think
for this game?
I think that's where it lies cuz like I don't think like I think it was one of those games that people were like for its time, it was fine. It was good. It added some things to that general genre. Um I will never enjoy it.
All right. So for my game, that is my worst. The game I hate the most is the game, my first video game I ever owned that my parents bought me.
Ooh.
And it's like looking back at them, like I'm glad that I found better games to erase any memory of this game except for when I think about it.
Except when I force myself to.
Yes. So just like I want to set a picture here. Okay, so imagine like imagine Mario, but instead of like moving around like Mario did in Mario 64, he had tank controls.
Immediate
And
hate.
and then anything you touch hurts you, which is like a Mario,
Mhm.
like enemy. And the only way you can kill enemies is shooting them with a bubble gun that has oh, whoopsie. The timer just ended. um and you can only kill them when you have this certain type of ammo, which is red bubbles, but it decreases and it doesn't like you have a limited supply of this ammo, and it's for you to get more ammo you have to kill these enemies like
Mhm.
and yeah, this game's called Rascal.
Rascal. I'll have to look this up.
Rascal. um let's see.
Worst PlayStation game ever. Rascal review. Nice.
Yeah, yes, it is pretty much guaranteed that it's a really bad game. So the whole premise of this game is that you are this kid that I don't really know what his name is. I am going to assume his name is Rascal. And he's just sitting there, and his dad's like this super scientist that creates portals to time, like to different places throughout the house. And so what happens is that this organization comes in, steals your dad, throws him into like the future area, because like the concept of this game on paper is really cool. So like what happens is that you go to this world, and when you first play, you have to play through the past, and then once you beat that, you have to go back and play it in the present, which normally then it's now that place is a museum. So like the first level is like a medieval castle where there's like you fight knights and all this stuff, and I think the boss is like a dragon. You go do that. The second time you go through it, you go through it in the present, where all these suits of armor and things that you fought are now like displays, and you have to like stay away from security guards and fight them. And but it's the same level, it's just things are a little bit different. And then the last iteration is the future, where I think it pretty much just gives a tech upgrade to like the first all the enemies from the first game. So you fight like robot knights and robot dragons and stuff. And you're trying to collect these like pieces of an hourglass to unlock a portal thing to where your dad is. I think. I don't know. I never got that far. This game is garbage.
Yeah, I did a quick Google search on it. You're not the only person that thinks it's garbage. A lot of publications gave it there's Game Rankings gave it a 48. CVG, I don't know who that is. It's 1 out of 10. GameSpot 4 out of 10. IGN 2 out of 10. Mm-hmm. And one of the quotes for it is it's worth picking up only for those who enjoy being annoyed.
Yeah. And that was the game my parents bought me and my brothers for our first time playing video games. And the thing was like my dad played it and like he could progress through it. And I can't tell if he actually liked it or hated it. But all I know is that when you look at my family, there's only one of us that doesn't play video games anymore. And it's the one that progressed through Rascal. So
is it a 1-for-1?
Let that sink in. Case study done by me. I will publish my study in popular mechanics later today. Never. But yeah, just don't play Rascal unless like you lost a bet and you don't have a way out of it.
Yes.
So, but yeah,
it does sound awful.
Yeah, but it's like it's just funny because like just thinking about like Bugs Bunny Lost Through Time, I was like it's not like we planned that. Like if anyone doesn't know, me and Hop don't share our list to each other. No. We might try to guess like from what we know off the other person, like when did they choose this? I don't know. I try to, and I'm wrong every time.
I realized I picked 2 puzzle games. Oh man, I don't like puzzles.
Hey guys, now remember, next time Hop has a game suggestion goal, put all the puzzles in there. Put in Myst.
But yeah, no, like it is interesting. It is an interesting idea of a case study though, to look into like one for people that don't play video games but have tried video games. What's your biggest video game memory? Mm-hmm. If like, your dad's is Rascal, then you're like, oh no.
So yeah, I don't know, but like we did try it. Like I remember that we like me because that's all that we had until we had that NHL 98, which like that apparently was like the best NHL game, hockey game ever created.
It's like, been a long time.
Apparently like a lot of people think that one is really great. I don't want. Yes, $2 is way too much for Rascal. They should pay you to have it. But there's that, and then we got Rayman, the first Rayman game on PS1. That I remember it was Rayman and Mega Man 8. And that was when we realized we needed a memory card for the PlayStation.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember many PlayStation memory cards getting corrupted and me begging for more and my mother not understanding what the big deal was.
Yeah. Fortunately, I don't think we had a lot of corruptions, but like my mom doesn't understand video game stuff. Like she would just be like, like, oh, that's cool. Like, at least you guys understand it. But like that was like the one thing where she's like, oh, if my kids want to save and actually progress and see more of these games, we need these like hunks of plastic to stick in there. And was like, okay, sure, they're not destroying the house. Get them this dumb memory card. So yeah, but I think we have time for one quiz.
Okay, so do you like your classic video game character one better than the one I found? Because I don't trust the one that I found.
I know there's more questions on it.
Okay.
I like the PlayStation one.
The PlayStation one is not a good quiz, DPayne.
It's
not.
It's an amazing quiz.
It's a quiz. Is it a good quiz?
It fits the parameters. There's questions and you get an answer.
All right, so we'll try the classic video game character one you found.
Yeah, we'll do that one. All right, guys, if you want to take this quiz, I'm putting it. Oh, there we go. It's in the chats. Well, we were saying that our worst video games were from when we were 12 or younger. We're going to revisit this if it wins the dice roll again for when we were teenagers. When did Nightmare Ned come out?
I don't think I ever played Nightmare Ned.
I heard of it. Oh, it would. Well, that was a TV show.
Yeah, it looks like the show started in 97.
Yeah, 97.
Yeah, video game 97 as well, yeah.
Yeah. No, well, I never played it. I remember like hearing the name. We were pretty much just saying like the games that we played or heard. But yeah, actually, if you guys want to, let us know what y'all think. As soon as I do a few clickies here, let us know what your top game was on our Twitter. Your top and worst games, and we will judge you. Just like how you judged us, which was mainly a lot of no, I agree with that choice. So we weren't super controversial.
Or I am not familiar.
Yep. So yeah, right now we're going to do this quiz. I think it's posted in both chats. Feel free to take it with us.
Let us know what you get.
Yeah, we haven't taken it.
So should I start with a question since I started with the whole thing today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we'll go back and forth. Oh, and for anyone that doesn't know or is listening to this later and doesn't know, the quiz will be down in the show notes because that's what official podcasts say, and this will eventually be an official podcast. But yeah, let us know what you get, and this is how we close out our podcast: is that we find a random quiz that deals either really directly or loosely with what we're talking about.
This one's more loose than the last one. All right, so question number 1. What's your favorite fruit? Apple, grapes, dragon fruit, or strawberries?
I like pears.
Yeah, I was going to say...
What the heck is a dragon fruit?
It's like bumpy, and like when you look at the flesh, it's like white and has seeds on it. It's an Asian fruit, I think. But yeah, I like mangoes. That's not on this list.
I also like melons. I think I'm just going to go with apple.
I think I'm going to go with... I'm torn between apple and strawberry. I'll do apple.
Copying me.
I know.
The clickies.
Tap, tap.
All right, so the second quiz.
Surprise quiz.
The second question is, what do you like to do on the weekend? Oh my goodness, this sounds very similar to the other ones.
I know.
Okay, what do you like to do on the weekend? Go on a hike, cook a nice meal, catch up on some reading, hang out with some friends.
I think I'm either catching up on reading or cook a nice meal. I think I like to cook a nice meal.
Yeah. Like I found out like as I get older, cooking a nice meal Well, I started doing streaming, so it's like I started streaming, doing cooking streams. But it's like before I started doing that, it was just like it was a lot of time just to like decompress and relax and all that stuff. So I would choose. We're gonna get the same answer.
We're gonna get the same answer. All right. What's your favorite color? Blue, pink, orange, red. I already know both of our answers.
Yeah, this was the conversation we literally had yesterday.
Blue.
Oh,
We're
we
gonna
might have
get
to
the
take a
same
different
answer.
quiz. Hey, which words would best describe you? Inquisitive, adventurous, intellectual, independent, knowledgeable, strong-willed, solitary, smart, inventive, outgoing, wacky, energetic.
I'm
This is going to be the one that we're different.
Yeah, I'm personally between solitary, smart, inventive, that group, and the group that's independent, knowledgeable, strong-willed. But reading them again, the only difference is the last word. So am I more? I think I'm more inventive than strong-willed. So I'm gonna go for the solitary, smart, and inventive.
I think I would be inquisitive, adventurous, intellectual. Intellectual is a very, very, very thinly stressed.
All right.
I'm gonna go that one.
Oh,
I don't know. Outgoing, well, I'm not very outgoing unless
yeah.
it's through the internet. Okay, I'm going with the first one.
Okay. What genre of music do you enjoy? Rock, pop, classical, or electronic?
The funny thing is, this is something that we both talked about this weekend as well, and that option's not on here.
These are so generic.
Yeah. The quiz is long. Yeah.
Oh god, I just looked at the scroll bar.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it's like 20 questions. Okay,
Okay, let's bump
quick.
it up. All right, I'm going classical.
I'm going rock. Hey, favorite genre of movie? Action, comedy, drama, or horror?
Horror.
Same here. At least we'll know what the questions are that
Differ.
the whole quiz is dependent on.
Which of these superpowers would you want? Flight, eat anything without consequence, super intelligence, invincibility.
Which one did you click?
Eat anything without consequence.
Same here. I already am super intelligent. Hey, choose your weapon. Wand, fists, gun, anything you see.
I'm gonna pick a gun because I feel like a wand can backfire, as shown off by Ron Weasley in Harry Potter.
I never watched Harry Potter, but a gun can also backfire.
If you don't take care of it properly.
Yeah, I chose anything you see. It was a tie between fists and anything you see. There wasn't giant sword for beef. If anyone comes to the league streams, that's a reference you'll understand there. Right. Whose turn is it?
I think it's
yours.
Mine.
It's an odd question.
What's your favorite type of vehicle? Go-kart, plane, tank, SUV. Huh?
Well, if I had an option, I know which one I would want to drive.
Yeah. I guess I'll go with an SUV.
I chose tank. No more red lights for me. Hey, where did you go with friends? To the movies, taking cooking classes, hitting the club, going camping.
Movies.
Yeah, movies too. What was the last movie you watched in theaters?
My Hero Academia's newest movie.
It's all good. Mine was I forgot what it was. Knives Out.
Oh, I do want to watch that.
That's a great movie.
All right. If you were stranded on a desert island, what would be the one thing you take? An endless collection of books, a full array of weapons, a mountain of toys and other playthings, or a comfortable bed?
This is not a question for me.
I picked books.
I picked bed. I already admit I'll be bored already. It's deserted. Why would I need weapons?
It's just me.
Okay. Which of these gifts would you like to receive? A new book or movie? Kitchen gadgets or utensils? High quality headphones? Stylish clothing, accessories?
I I think I really like getting kitchen gadgetry utensils because I'd never get them for myself, but I find them very useful.
Yeah. I'm torn on the fact that I wouldn't want any of these.
Oh no.
I would probably choose a new book or movie.
Okay.
Yeah, because my brother got me like Dune
Ah, yeah.
a lot. Okay.
Where would you go on vacation? A cruise ship, to some national parks, to a bustling city, or somewhere with a sunny beach?
The silence.
Well, like
Yeah.
I've gone on cruise ship vacations and I do enjoy them, but I also like the idea of going to national parks because I haven't been to any, so I think I'm gonna go national parks.
Don't use the weapons to defend me from me. Dude, I already said the weapon of choice was anything I could find, so why would I need to bring weapons?
Hmm.
If you're on the Twitch, big brain. I'm gonna choose the beach. As I got older, I realized that I liked just being on the beach by myself.
Yes, it is nicer.
Plus, if I go to a park, I'm coming out with poison ivy. Okay. What is your dream job? Something blue collar, a rocket scientist, an entertainer, professional chef.
Mm. Mm.
You know what? Knight was right. There is a lot of food based questions in this.
Mm.
um.
Eh,
Okay. Claire, what is a blue collar job? I heard, is that like just sit
a
behind a
desk
desk?
job, I think.
Why? Why is that a dream job? Okay, you know what? Blow
Or is
stuff up.
blue collar more like hands-on work, like an electrician, which is also like a weird dream job.
I lost my big brain status. What
Can't.
is
Oh,
a?
they're saying it's a hands-on job.
Oh,
White collar is office job.
what's green collar? Cannabis?
I don't know. Like I don't know. I think as an
Okay.
adult thinking about these jobs, I think about all the implications of like all these different jobs, and none of these are like fun.
Yeah. You know what though? Look at all the stuff I do now, and if I had to choose something that I would want to get paid for, it and like make it something as a career, it would be what I do on the internet. And so I would have to go with entertainer.
Yeah, I'm
Like
between
that's
entertainer and professional chef.
not rocket scientist.
Uh, it's not far enough for my current job.
Oh my goodness.
uh, jokes. I I like food. Professional chef.
Cue the Gordon Ramsay.
You find a priceless artifact. What do? Finders keepers. Submit it to a local museum. Give it to the authorities, or research all you can about it to find its owner. If this is Animal Crossing.
It's not.
But I feel like no matter what I would do, I think I would still give it to a museum. Because I also just really love visiting museums.
I would keep it. Oh. What would you do with $10 million? Donate it to charity and help friends, family and friends. Buy an island and build a massive fortified house. Build your own private castle. Travel the world.
Yeah, I gotta agree that I feel like some of these cost more than $10 million.
Yeah. Donating.
Yes. No, like, I might have looked with coworkers at the prices of islands as a joke.
And
And a lot of the bad ones start in the millions ranges. Some of these you could do multiple. You could definitely donate to charity and help family and friends and travel the world and still
yeah.
have money left.
But here's the thing. You could build your own private stream castle. Yeah, people might have stream houses, but who has a stream castle? It's like, oh, you broke TOS? Down to the dungeon with you.
Well,
You're
yeah, and
not allowed
also,
out.
yeah, with land permits and everything, being able to get the castle set up, you either don't have like a Disney style castle or you have like just a house and you're like, this is my castle. Like, it's a bigger house with more floors that are not
Mm.
necessary, but I
But is there
guess
a dungeon? That is official castle status.
I would travel.
Yeah, I'm torn because like I've literally said the first option like before, like
Mm-hmm.
to go. But the thing is, like, I would also love to travel. Okay, time to roll the die. Okay. Well, since one is an odd number and four is an even number, oh, that cracked die. All right, I rolled a 9 in the first one. It was like, yeah, it is what it is. This is you.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were ready. Okay. What do you like to drink? Tea, soda, water, fruit juice?
I chose water.
I like tea.
We are very boring. Well, I already know the answer for 18. Number 18. What can't you live without? High quality fresh food, books and movies, the internet, music.
Internet.
Internet. Like, yeah, you're talking to two streamers.
I can eat Doritos and not maybe die within the next 5 years only eating Doritos, but
It just says
internet?
high quality fresh food. So
Yeah.
it
Oh,
that just
so you could get like an apple that's like past its prime.
oh yeah, like a lot of food you can eat past the expiration date, like if it's not too long.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of the expiration dates are just the sell by date on the store.
Oh yeah,
But
because I
like
need to get rid of it to not
yeah,
get you sick.
it's still technically good for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, like I know milk. I don't pay attention to that. I always pour it and sniff it because like
You pour it then sniff it?
because the rim will have the crust of the milk, so sometimes that will smell bad before the milk itself is actually bad.
Then so you pour your milk first then add the cereal?
No, so if I'm just drinking it, but if I'm using it in something, I'll pour it in like just a tiny glass and just enough that I can sniff it, and then I'll just pour that in to whatever I'm using it in.
Mm. Milk crust.
That's I mean, I don't know how to explain like at the lid where you twist it.
Hey
Sometimes
guys, that's our first merch. First merch, milk crust.
but no, but like when you close it, like sometimes milk gets caught and then that goes bad, but the milk itself isn't bad. That's my 2 cents about milk. Anyway, what's your favorite musical instrument? Bass guitar, piano, flute, or drums?
This was literally something I talked in the last cooking stream. Piano.
I think I'm gonna go bass guitar.
I play bass, so it's just like it's not my favorite. No, it's just with piano, it's so versatile of what you can do, and it's I don't know. There's so many musics that I like listening to that's just piano,
Mm-hmm.
and just so many different styles. If I was given a wish where it was very specific of you can only learn one instrument, like not to be like god tier mastery, but like be able to play music and sound decent, I would choose one the piano, two the violin.
I would pick a theremin.
I've heard of it, but I can't remember what it is.
It's I might have said the name wrong, but it's the electronic instrument where
Yeah,
you
it's
move
the
your
stick.
hands.
Yes.
Yes.
I seen it. I watched Shinedown use that in one of their concerts.
It's very like it's so niche that I feel like it would make me like I would just do weird alien sounds all the time. Intro music, womp. Star Trek intro.
Just to have it off camera, so it's just like, welcome to Hoppocalypse stream. Wow. Alrighty, final question. What is your favorite season? Spring, summer, fall, winter?
Fall.
Oh, do I want winter or fall? It's fall.
Oh my god, it's not the last question.
I thought it was.
It's
the last
KK
one.
Slider.
How many questions are there?
We'll just keep scrolling. What's your spirit animal? Raccoon, snake,
25.
fox, owl.
I like owls.
Out of these, owls.
Yeah, the one Pokemon where you get to choose a little owl, that was my favorite, and I didn't let it evolve. I was like, you're gonna be baby owl.
You're just gonna be cute.
You're baby owl. You will live in this ball. There's only 4 more questions.
Okay.
Okay. What's your favorite? Well, not favorite. What's your clothing style? Hip and trendy, incredibly comfortable, sporty and functional, flashy and elaborate.
Incredibly comfortable.
Yeah, comfortable. Dude, these quizzes are just showing the fact that me and Hop just
we sit at home and do nothing.
We're not very different. This is why we were able to do the podcast. We might have different answers for certain topics, but we are essentially just the same people.
What's your snack of choice? Ice cream, donuts, fruit snacks, cake. These aren't snacks. Like, I wouldn't snack on these. Fruit snacks is only snack, but like the rest of them are like.
Well, it has it in the name.
Yes, but the rest of them are like full on like dessert.
Dessert. Yeah.
If I had to just pick out of these, I do like donuts.
Wait, fruit snacks? Is this like the gummies?
I assume so, because they didn't just say fruit.
Because like I'm not a big ice cream fan, and I'm not a big cake fan. But donuts are also good. What's your favorite donut?
French cruller. Outside of other.
Okay, same here. All right, guys. Well, moving on. Oh, this is
bad question. What? Bad question. Read it. Read it for the crowd.
I know. What's your favorite board game? And if anyone knows anything about me and Hop, we are very. Actually, I think we have this. At least on the top is one of our. We have the same, close to the same favorite game. Not on this list. Candyland, Risk, Mousetrap, or Life.
There's more board games in this, people. Open your eyes.
Sheeple.
If I had to pick out of these, I like Life.
I was like, if I had to look, I don't like Risk.
I don't like Risk either. I'm very bad at Risk. I only win Risk because I can't roll less than a 6.
All right. So before we go on, then, what is a board game that you like to play? I know that's like a very loaded, very expensive
I have
question.
3 shelves and excess full in my basement of board games right now. Right now, I'd say I really like Roll for the Galaxy and Scythe are the top 2 that come to my head. And there's also Imperial Settlers that I really like.
I like Betrayal, and even though I will not lose that memory of Betrayal when I immediately forgot the rules.
He betrayed me, and he was on my team.
I was like, I don't know. For some reason, the rules were not sticking in my head. But yeah, that one, and I can't really think of any at the moment. Okay, last question. Go ahead.
Which video game genre do you like? Adventure, platformer, side-scrolling, virtual reality, RPG, or action? Why does this have more than 4 options?
I know. I was just thinking that. But hey, at least if I answer anything opposite than what I literally said a couple minutes ago.
Wait, they don't include anything that covered my favorite game. No simulation, management, or turn-based.
Virtual reality. It's a virtual reality where you train things.
I think I'm gonna go RPG.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go platformer. Should I? Oh well. Yep.
All right. Okay. See your result. Ready?
Yeah.
Click the button.
Oh my goodness!
I did not expect this. All right, chat. Feel free to share what you got as your answers. If you're listening in, feel free to find us on our social media. Our major one is on Twitter. And share with us what you got as your answer.
Kirby, Mario.
It looks like
oh man, people got better answers.
It looks like we actually got some decent variety though. Good quiz, DPayne. Good find. I got Princess Zelda.
I got Mario.
So chat, yeah, we have a Kirby, Mario, Dr. Robotnik, Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, Dr. Robotnik would have been fun to get.
So my description is I may find myself struggling from time to time or have an exceptionally bad day more often than not. I may even think the world is out to conspire against me. Regardless, I'm no damsel in distress. I'm resourceful, smart, adventurous, and self-reliant. That was depressing.
Hey, well, let's see. I got Mario. You're the everyday hero. You may not have any special powers or abilities, but you do whatever is necessary to help those around you. You're resourceful and energetic. You're one of the nicest people the world has to offer, pure of heart. You should be proud of yourself. Everyone else is. Dang liars. No. This is really making me laugh because I think Cop and I, when we were talking about the quizzes, were like, yep, Mario.
You did get a basic character.
I know.
We joked. Like, what was it? It was Pikachu, Cloud, and Mario.
Pikachu, Cloud, and Mario are the basic answers, and I'm like, I think I said, you know what? Oh, hold on, I'm just gonna scroll through the Discord conversation. I'm not happy.
Hey everybody, sorry you had to find out this way, but DPayne is basic.
I'm basic, super basic. Where is it? Oh, hey, I found the PlayStation quiz. Oh. Hey guys, you don't have to take this, but I think you should. Just take a look at this.
Just take a look.
It's the best quiz ever. Let me know what you get. It will not take you as long. Hop, you should take it too, because I remember what I have. Okay, so there's a chocolate. Let's see. Okay,
am I even allowed to click things? Oh,
yes,
you are. Okay, yep. So this is like a guess and check and hope that you get something.
Okay, so it said, here's how our conversation went. I said, how many people are going to get Cloud? And then Hav responded, probably everyone. Either that or Pikachu. Which is the most basic out of Cloud, Pikachu, and Mario? If I get one of these options, I have news for you. I will regret this post if I get any of these answers.
Huh, I got an interesting answer. It doesn't patch me at all. All right, so if you took that PlayStation quiz where no images are available, spoiler alert, and, and click randomly, I got Nathan Drake. I'm apparently a bit of a daredevil with a passion for adventure. I take action first and ask questions never. I work well under pressure, and I'm not a bad player to have when there's a puzzle to be solved or a code to decipher. Oh my god, that is the antithesis of everything I talked about earlier.
I'm gonna officially take it right now.
What did you get originally while you take it? Who?
From Little Big Planet.
Oh. Aw.
Yep. So, but here's the official podcast answer. Click.
Just click. Click away.
Click. 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 Click.
That is exactly what is this quiz. The quiz literally is none of the images are available. So DPayne and I are just scrolling through clicking things. There is no rhyme or reason.
I got the Traveler.
From Destiny?
I'm super mysterious and work well in ambiguity. You enter the unknown flight. I guess so.
The Traveler is one of my least favorite NPCs from Destiny, but that's
I'm gonna keep Sackboy.
Sackboy is who you are.
Yeah, it's
that's a good
Mario.
Answer. Yes,
better than Mario. Everyone just ignore whatever I got. So yeah.
Sorry if that quiz confused you. It is broken.
It's the best quiz.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Oh, people got the character from Infamous. Okay. I did not play Infamous.
When I Googled search that name that came up, it is not a video game. It's some athletes.
Which one?
People in jail.
Which one did you look up? Because one spelled wrong.
Oh, the one that's spelled wrong. Oh, yeah, I recognize it. It is Infamous.
Infamous. Yeah. I never got around to playing it because I didn't have the PlayStation when is it 3 when that originally came out, or is it 4?
4. It was a launch release.
Okay, because I thought Infamous 2 came out with PlayStation 4.
No, Infamous 1 and 2 were on the PS3.
Okay.
And then they went to the Second Son, which is what Delson's from.
Second Son. That's what it is.
Yep. That's a series run that I would love to do. But we're not talking about far off in the future that doesn't exist. Hop, you have to roll a die for for what's next because
Oh,
you want
yes.
initiative.
So what we're gonna do for the next poll that we'll have up on our Twitter is that what we're gonna do is we will keep Chocolate Bar there for now, see if he can win the contest, and we will add the following one. I rolled a 10.
A 10. Toothpaste flavors.
So next podcast we will either rant on about chocolate bars or toothpaste flavors. So
You want to highlight that so we can remember it later?
oh god, did you move it or did I move it? I moved it.
Yeah, you did. You deleted 9.
I undeleted it. Control Z.
It was all good. So yeah, we are now stepping away from our safe comfort of video game and childhood to toothpaste and chocolate.
2 weeks in a row about our childhood, and now I mean this could also be about our childhood. We don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, so we will put up a poll. It will not be for 5 days again because gosh dang it, we needed a little bit more time to make sure we could find quizzes and stuff. So yeah, so it will be up on that Twitter if you guys want to follow and vote. And Hop, what are you doing either tonight or the rest of the week?
All right, so later on tonight, I believe I'll be picking up and continuing my playthrough of Fire Emblem, aka Hop being thirsty towards 2D characters. I need to gain the hearts just like I gained the hearts for my monsters in Monster Rancher.
Insert emote.
But yeah, so that should be what I'm up to tonight. What about you, DPayne?
I'm going to be playing some more Final Fantasy VII Remake. And just being like, this looks really cool and I like it better than the original.
Oh, also, sorry for anyone that isn't enjoying this live to understand. Again, if you want to join in with us, it's Hoppocalypse is who I am, streaming on Twitch, and then DPayne streaming on Mixer. You can find our social media links in descriptions and etc. So you can chat with us whenever we're online.
Yeah. And for anyone that didn't see the post on the Twitter, we are trying to get it up to on YouTube, but there is literally a site-wide problem where we can't upload anything over 15 minutes. So we're trying to get things set up as quick as possible to get a form out, so that way, if you guys can't catch it live, there is an audio format. I think that's just going to be the quickest way we're getting there. So we're working hard behind the scenes to get all the different things set up. So yeah, but for information, definitely check out the Twitters. But yeah, that is it. Feel free to vote between chocolate and toothpaste.
I have stronger opinions of toothpaste than I do of chocolate.
I have strong opinions of both. So
I will eat most any chocolates. I have stronger opinions on
and
toothpaste.
she will eat almost every toothpaste. Anyway.
Wait.
Nope, that's next week. Anyway. Yeah, so let your vote be heard. Thank you everyone for watching, and yeah, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.